Oh, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to Fine Print. This is our series where we take a look at a poem that you have sent us and we just kind of analyze it. We break it down, we see what's going on with your speaker, we take a look at the structure, we look at the tone, see if we can find the turn, see if there's meter going on, what's your language doing, all that fun stuff. And as we go along on that journey, you can also join us and let us know what your own thoughts are as well. To guide us in this process, there's me. Hi, my name is Jeff. We are here to take a look today at a poem by, let's see, we got poems by Steve. One. Steve, thank you so much for letting us take a look at your work, assuming your name again is Steve. I see we got some colors with a U. Oh, we got some people outside US looking at Europe, maybe Australia, somewhere else. Steve, let us know where you're from. So we're going to be taking a look at this tanka. And yeah, we got a title. Title is October Sun. Let's just kind of read through it really quick. October Sun. Within the heart of autumn, leaves dancing to Mother Nature's impulsive rhythm rest wearily upon dampened soil, waiting for a glimpse of October sun, a mosaic of colors blending for fun. Quick little poem there. Thanks again to Steve for letting us take a look at this. I want to target specifically emotion, and I would love to know what your own thoughts are in terms of emotion in poetry and word choice. The way I often think of it is I think of every single word as having an emotional pH where nothing is tends to be truly neutral. Words have some connotations with them that can either be positive, negative, happy, sad, frustrated, angry. Everything has some sort of emotional charge to it. And the more we're aware of these nuances, the more we can, I don't want to say necessarily exaggerate, but the more we can use it to complement what we're writing. Because typically in a poem, there are a couple of emotions that become very evident. So then, once especially the first couple drafts are finished, we can begin challenging ourselves with trying to find ways to amplify that emotion. And so, some of the strongest emotional language that we have here, we have the word heart, but I don't know what direction to take that in just yet. Heart can be something positive in terms of like the relationship, but it could also be a source of frustration or pain. Dancing to me is a word that feels lighter and happier. Mother is again a word that, again, in relation to heart, is a word that I feel like carries with it warmth and kind of a deeper relationship or connection. Impulsive rhythm, impulsive kind of has that sense of lack of control. So that I wouldn't necessarily say it's negative, but it doesn't necessarily have some of that lightness that like dancing has. Rest wearily. So wearily has added in a new emotional component that I wasn't quite expecting at this point in the poem. In a sense of kind of tiredness or exhaustion. That's kind of what I get. Dampened soil kind of puts kind of almost like a somber mood on this, a little heavy. Um, Waiting for a glimpse of October sun. So now we have like some excitement or some anxiousness. We're maybe even impatience, waiting for a glimpse. We just want a glimpse. We don't even need much. We just want a glimpse. Mosaic of colors. Now we're back to the bright sort of imagery that we had with the dancing, I felt. And then blending for fun. Again, it kind of harkens back to the dancing that we had earlier. So those are some of the things that jump out to me immediately. I will say that in terms of word choice, the word that stands out to me the most is wearily, just because it's so different from all the others. In reading this scene, I think in general we're staying pretty consistently like warm and light. It's like, for instance, with the heart and the dancing, the mother, the the waiting for a glimpse, the mosaic, the blending for fun. All of these things based on the context of the poem now we've read through it once or twice, to me are leaning more towards things that feel kind of light, whereas the Warily kind of catches me a little bit off guard from that. And that's okay. I mean, so it adds some of that. I feel like it adds a little bit of tension, which, a poem in general wants to have some form of tension in it somewhere. So getting that there, that's kind of the heavy moment in the literal sense as well, right? It's they're resting really. I'm a little bit. I think it's interesting also having that after the dancing. So the leaves, what are the leaves doing? Or within the heart of autumn leaves, comma, dancing to Mother Nature's impulsive rhythm, comma, rest wearily upon dampened soil, waiting for a glimpse of October sun mosaic colors blending for fun. So the way I originally took this, and now that I'm seeing targeting the punctuation more, I don't know if that reading actually holds. The way I was originally reading it was that the leaves were doing the dancing, that the leaves were doing the resting upon the soil. The leaves were the ones waiting for the glimpse. But now I'm doubting that. Yeah, I think that interpretation is still possible, but I think that there's a I think there's a speaker here. And I don't know who's doing the dancing. I don't know who's doing the resting. Because it's like if the line breaks were more like within the heart of autumn leaves, that's your line. Dancing to Mother Nature's impulsive rhythm. Who's doing the dancing? Rest wearily upon dampened soil. Is this the speaker waiting for a glimpse of October sun? So it's not entirely clear to me. Is the person doing the dancing and the rest? Is it the leaves or is it a person, a tired person? That's something kind of I'm battling with. And you guys can let me know what your thoughts on that are as well. I think it's interesting too with the October sun that sun is capitalized, but it's not capitalized in the title. I think it's an interesting shift. Um, Also, leaves getting. Oh, we're capitalizing all the first words. Okay, of lines. It's in the heart of autumn leaves, dancing to Mother Nature's impulsive rhythm. Rest wearily. So let's again talk about emotions. So when you have a poem and you're like, okay, I think this is easier too when you have a first draft. When you have a poem and you finish your first draft, and then you're kind of thinking, okay, what are the emotions that stand out? Oh, in this case, the speaker feels angry here, or the speaker feels tired here, or the speaker feels excited. You know, maybe throughout the entire piece. And sometimes, again, I would wait until after a first draft is over before necessarily determining this, because then when the first draft is done, you have a little bit more direction with the piece. You'd be like, okay, so this is happening. How can I then amplify it? How can I crank that thing up to maybe even like 11? You know, and I think what's happening in this piece here, um, I think some of that excitement really is carrying over, especially like the last one is like waiting for a glimpse of October sun. I really like glimpse. I think glimpse is doing a lot of work because you're saying it doesn't take much. I just want a little bit. Um, a mosaic of colors. I think to me is speaking to the beauty of the season. So again, we're kind of back in that positivity. There's an attraction to things that are colorful and vibrant. Blending for fun. There's this sense of we're doing things not because we have to or we're stressed, but because we're fun. So those last two lines for me are really carrying a lot of excitement and light, um, that I think really work well. The other parts of the poem aren't necessarily conveying that same level of emotion. And that's not necessarily a problem. Again, typically, you would expect some things to shift after your turn. But to me, like within the heart of autumn and then leaves, it's like within the heart of autumn leaves. Uh, to me, again, there's not. I feel like this could be an opportunity for more emotion. Like, for instance, how am I supposed to feel about the heart of autumn leaves? And then dancing to Mother Nature's impulsive rhythm. Again, how am I supposed to feel about this impulsivity? How does the speaker feel about these things? Are they like laughing it off? Are they bothered by it? Are they enjoying it? And then rest wearily upon dampened soil. And then we also don't know what's causing the rest. Also, because so one of the things too is I'm a little bit confused because if it's the leaves, so if the leaves are dancing to Mother Soil, they rest with. So it's like the leaves are doing two contradictory things almost. So that's part of what makes me feel like the leaves is not the subject of dancing or the rest because they're dancing, but then they excuse me, they're dancing, but then they rest wearily. So I'm like, wait, what? So I'm a little bit confused by that. But yeah, so my challenge for you when you're writing poems, again, I think this poem, I'm especially drawn to the last couple lines of the poem. I like the emotional consistency that they convey. But regardless, when you're working with your own piece, determining what is the emotion that you feel, I think you may want to consider, you don't have to even tie this into the piece, but also just kind of thinking about why does your speaker feel that certain way? Or why do you feel that certain way? That's another thing to just be considering as well. All right. So let me know what are some other things that jump out to you in terms of the language, the word choices here, the emotional language of it. Um, it's fall. Always appreciate a good fall poem. And we want to thank Poems by Steve for letting us take a look at this piece. Lots of little layers here, lots of things to uncover, even in a very short space. So we appreciate that. And you guys have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon. Share with us your thoughts in the comments or find us on our socials. We'll see you guys later.